All right, guys, good morning to everybody. Another day here. I got a part in the mail. I'll show you what it is. I'm going to see if we can't get this installed. No Mountain Dew today. We are drinking some coffee here. I got this part here for the Farmall 560. I was so glad that it's still available. Just hunting around the internet trying to find a part here for the 560. This company... Never really heard of them or dealt with them. This is the first thing I bought from them. But this here, in this box, should be the lens for the dash on the Farmall 560. That plastic lens that covers the light bulbs that light up your dash. And yes, it is. So for those of you guys that aren't familiar, your dash with your gauge cluster lights up. And this is the cover to cover the bulbs. Was very pricey for this piece. Now it was 20 bucks, which is a lot of money for just what it is, but we got it here, and to finish the restoration I wanted it. The old one is cracked, so it's no good. So let's see if we can't get this on the 560. It's probably not going to stay on because I have some touch-up painting to do eventually when it warms up. We'll put this on once we're finished. So there are still some things available out there that you might need for these old tractors, but you're going to pay for them. It's just kind of the way it is. Probably if I had some of this transparent, flexible plastic, I might have been able to make something, but I don't know. It's here. Let's go look at the other one. All right, we're over here at the dash of the 560. Now, back in the 60s, they did not backlight gauges that I know of. They just were the standard gauges with the flat face. I'm not sure when they started backlighting the gauges and putting bulbs in. I want to say 70s. So to be able to see your gauges at night, what they did here is they put a nice light underneath the steering column here, which is a real nice feature. It was a nice added touch for these tractors that you had a light there. So just to show you guys that it works. So at night you could see your gauges. So this one here that's on is cracked. It's cracked here and it's split in half on the other side. So to remove this old lens, it's just 2 Phillips head screws on either side, and then basically just pull it out of there. Like I say, it is just like a lens. And if you'll take notice, like I say, I want to do this dash over. There's some places here that I'm seeing that I didn't get with paint, so we'll be taking it off and taping it off once we get to that point in the weather here. So let's remove this old one. All right, bear with me here. All right, I got the old one off, and you can see the condition of it. It's deteriorated, it's broken, it's a little bit dirty. It's the plastic on here is that brittle I could just break it. It's old plastic. I don't know if it's original from the 1960s or not, but it's basically no good anymore. So there are 2 light bulbs up in here. There's 2 bulbs, one on each side of the steering column. There's one on this side and one on this side. And I am very surprised that they both still work and that they're both still functional, because I didn't do anything to them. So that's kind of a bonus when you find something on these old tractors that works, and you don't really have to do a whole lot. I am going to take these bulbs out and clean them both to make sure there's no corrosion or any rust where it's making contact, and blow it out with the air compressor, because there's like spider webs. It looks like there's bee, mud wasp residue. So I'm going to get this all cleaned out under there. I'm sure they do make LED light bulb replacements that you could stick in here that they would fit the same socket, but it's not a priority right now. I'm just glad we have working lights under here. So I'm going to take these bulbs out and clean them up, wipe them down, and try to clean the sockets up as best as possible, and put this piece back on and see how it looks. All right, so we have it sitting in here kinda. It is flexible. It is a little bit tough to work it in there, but we got it in. These little screws, they're just Phillips head screws. I do want to paint these again before I put this all together when it warms up. But I do want to put a little dab of anti-seize on these, because you'll take notice how small they are, and maybe make it easier if you ever have to take it out and change a light bulb. So let me get my anti-seize and I'll just put these in. Simple project today. All right, so it's and the sun went behind the clouds, so now it's dark. It's just a case out with the old and in with the new for this project. Yeah, it is expensive, I will say that. Did I need to spend $20 for a lens? No, I probably could have made one. If I had a pattern, the old one is so boogered up, I don't really have a pattern for it. But it's here, it's on, and I think it'll look real nice once everything's painted. Like I say, I have to take it back off again to finish the painting. We'll get into that here when it warms up, if it warms up. So 2 little studs, and for the expensive price of $20, it's on. I don't know, that's some of these parts you just wonder why they're so expensive, but if you figure these are only on a 460, they're only on a 560, and a 660 maybe. So how many of these do they really make a year? How many do they really sell a year? It's kind of probably a specialty piece that they have to get made, or whoever makes it, wherever they get it from. Now it's not something bulky that they have to try to store, but I don't know, maybe it's priced just because of how little volume they sell of them. Who knows? But it's on, and I'm happy with it like that. So, and for what I gave for the tractor, I am not worried about spending a little bit of money on getting it restored. Basically, you guys know that this came with a loader, and I sold the loader, and being that I sold the loader that came on it, the tractor was just about free, not quite. So, for what these things go for when they're restored and in half decent shape, basically, for all the work that I've done to it so far, I have been keeping track of the money that I have spent on it. Basically, I could still trade it in on a piece of equipment and still be ahead. So it's just kind of what it is. I'm not afraid to put money into this thing to make it nice. Now, whether you believe the prices on Tractor House or not, I see 560 diesels here in Pennsylvania. I think there was one on Tractor House. They wanted $8,900 for it. I probably won't get that for this one just because that one has a real nice paint job, real good sheet metal. And this one doesn't quite. So, but I mean, again, you see the price range there. I don't know, I just thinking out loud here, offhand, if this was all finished, I had the piece of the hood, all the gauges worked, everything was mechanically 100% that you could just get on, start it and go, and we're going to try for that. That's the end goal here. I don't think it'd be out of the range to ask $775 for it, $7 or $7,500 for it. I think that would be a reasonable price. So you see where I'm going. I can really fix this up nice for the turnaround if I decide to sell it. At this point, it's not for sale. So, and the more time that goes by, I don't know if the value would go up. It's hit or miss on these tractors. You just never know. But anyway, here I am talking about the money side. I don't like to talk about the money, but anyway, we got the lens in, and this project's done. So stay tuned for more. As I get parts trickling in, I will do videos on them.